A Kultured Kast has been created for entertainment and educational purposes. The advice given are opinions of our host and not of medical advice. The podcast is not a substitute for direct, personalized, professional medical care and diagnosis. Exercises and dietary advice mentioned should be discussed with your physician or personal trainer to find out what is best for you.
You want to get fit? How about Ultra Fit? Come grab your Ultra Fit meals at Athletic Culture. You'll love it.
This episode of Kultured Kast is made possible by Paul Sadlin Motors, your local Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac dealer on Bayfield Street in Barrie and online at paulsadlin.com.
All right, welcome to episode 12 of Kultured Kast with Big Papa Mac.
Hey, you got my name
Pretty
right.
boy, easy champ.
Thanks, Ted.
Yeah, it's good to be here for your next TED Talk. Pro Fit Performance Training and CJ Fitness, also known as the big guy, the pretty boy, and the old man. And we're welcoming our CrossFit guru, CrossFit coach of 13 years, Heather Kearns. Heather is an independent travel advisor, photographer, CrossFit coach, fitness competitor, dog mom to Labradoodle Tavi, and mama bear to handsome and brilliant Ian. Heather is a dear friend, loving wife, and my personal sister from a different mister.
Yeah.
Things we have in common. Well, we're both ex-keggers. We both attended the McMaster University, are both madly in love with the Tragic Hip and my wife. She is the loudest, proudest cheerleader I've ever met. Welcome to the podcast.
I forgot about that.
Yes, and we'll get into that later. I want to start off by saying, please don't feel that you need to defend CrossFit, because you don't. You and I are going to talk about my beliefs and disinformation, I think, with CrossFit. They're going to have their opinions as well, but this isn't an attack on you. I'm here to hear your story of why you chose CrossFit, because you and I knew each other a long time ago. You competed with my wife. You actually convinced her to compete, and then you went to the dark side.
Come do bodybuilding with me.
Yes. And then unfortunately you went to the other side of the spectrum.
Well, I don't know. She played with me about 10 years ago in a competition and came in second.
Yes, she did. I remember a CrossFit competition, not because the first one was a bodybuilding.
Yeah, we did bodybuilding. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Heather Kearns.
How much time do we have?
We have 30 minutes. Go.
Oh, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
I was always a solid person growing up. My coordination, agility, sports skills, so to speak, really weren't a thing. I would get on a sports team in high school because I showed up to every single practice early. I stayed late. I worked on the skills. I was always on time. I was the loudest, proudest cheerleader of our team. And so coaches would have me on board probably for I never got MVP. I'd get maybe MIP. Look at you. You can actually serve the ball now.
I'm sure you had a lot of heart.
Oh yeah. But there was a squat rack, and I went to a high school in Midland that, it was all like piecemeal together. The buildings were literally stitched together. So the gym and the theater stage and the weight training were all in the same space. And the squat rack was on stage left. So that's where I hung out at lunchtime. But girls in the early 80s aren't supposed to squat.
Yeah.
The powerlifting for women really wasn't a thing. And so it's not like I was told, oh my God, you can't do that. But there wasn't a proactive coaching approach to me. And so I was encouraged to do other things. I hate running, but somehow I got into running. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay, good. Let's just have Heather go around a track over and over and over again. And then I loved swimming, sailing, canoeing. And then I found, oh my God, you can compete in canoeing. You can do skill courses. You can do sprints and stuff like that. So that was something that I found a bit of success in. And then downhill skiing was like an obsession.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and it's funny, as starting off as a kegger, they were like, oh, because they had their cliques. Yeah. You're like, oh no, so-and-so has been on this team for years. I'm like, oh, all right. And then I come to the Barrie keg, brand new keg. And the owner there is just obsessed with getting people involved. And he found I love to ski. And he said, okay, here's what we're going to do. And he was the first keg owner who literally put in like 3 or 4 ski teams.
Did he really?
Oh, yeah. He was like,
just so you guys know, Keg Cup is an annual event where people from all over Eastern Canada go up to Blue Mountain and you party for 3 or 4 days and you compete on the ski hill and you compete doing air bands. And the top 2 or 3 teams of each get flown out west and compete against Western kegs.
Okay.
So it was when I say Keg
On a
Cup,
real
it's
mountain.
something that we used to, on a real mountain, that's right, not a hill. And we used to obviously compete at. We didn't know one another back then, but yeah, some good times.
yeah, it's funny. We went to Mac together. We were keggers together, and I did not meet you
Yeah, that's right.
until I dragged Tammy in to do quarter turns.
Okay, so you touch on it. I want to know, you did that competition. You did well. You enjoyed the process, I think. And then you switch modalities. Why?
2007 and 2008 were positive. I remember after getting off stage in 2008, actually the highlight for, I don't even remember. I think it was just Ontario's. It certainly wasn't a national comp. But they were, I don't know, they couldn't find a tape or a recording for the national anthem. And so they just kind of threw it out there while we're all prepping. They're like, oh, who wants to sing the national anthem? And I'm like, oh, are you serious?
Did you really?
I did.
No way.
I opened the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're a jack of all trades.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Master of none, except my age.
Okay, so then what happened after? What happened in 2009?
Well, I got some really honest and kind feedback, but after the show, I went to the judges and they're like, okay, I came in 4th. What do I have to do to get on the podium? There was a list. I need a tummy tuck. I need a breast enhancement. I need permanent hair extensions. I need to wear 5-inch heels, not 4-inch heels.
Anything to do with your physique?
Yes, my legs were too jacked. I had to tone them down.
Wow.
But because I looked crushed, I was like, are you kidding? I love legs. It's like,
Yeah.
give me leg day any day. That's a treat
What
for me.
class did you compete in?
Figures. Yeah, short.
Are you thinking like legs now, maybe wellness?
Wellness, yeah.
But that category wasn't around.
No, it wasn't.
No. And there wasn't much of a master's category either. It was just, didn't matter how old you were, how tall are you, and
you were
get
just
up
in
on
the
stage
open.
and do your thing. Yes. Oh, I also did natural.
Yeah.
And afterwards, you kibitz with people, and particularly if you're not a threat to anyone, they're very friendly towards you. Yeah. And I was, kibitzing with the girl who won, and she's like, so how long did you have to stay clean to go natural?
Oh, no way, really?
I was like, okay, what does that mean?
Lady, I was born clean. Jesus Christ.
And she's like, well, you didn't have to clean out. And I went, what, you mean caffeine? Because the last 2 weeks, because I was doing natural, I couldn't have caffeine. I couldn't have, couldn't have toothpaste.
What?
I don't know. I couldn't brush my teeth with toothpaste.
What kind of toothpaste are you using?
Right?
Oh, baking soda.
Okay.
Wow.
And don't make sure you don't swell, because you don't want to swell up, right? But those were the things to, because we weren't weight class, we were height class. Yeah. And I, like, what you mean caffeine? And then, and so obviously no, I was not allowed to have any chocolate to start, like when you prep before you go on stage until the evening show. So once we did our pre stuff for the morning, it was like, okay, now you can have some chocolate. Now you can have a cup of coffee. Oh, I know what it was. It was wine.
What, red wine? I remember you had the same coach. I was chugging red wine backstage.
I could not because I was natural. So apparently wine is a bad thing.
Wasn't for me because I was loop-de-loop by the time I got
Hell, my sister confiscated my keys a week out to comp.
Yeah.
She's like, no,
this is why Todd ended up on the judges table.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point, man. I didn't even think of that.
Give me the wine. Yeah. So with that kind of feedback, I thought, okay, well, another suggestion was maybe you should do bodybuilding because of the size of your legs. And I'm like, okay, but my shoulders didn't want to cooperate.
Yeah.
And then it was suggested that if I just did one cycle, I could get my pro card. And I don't know why, beyond the scope of knowing that my parents on either side have health concerns, I just thought, I'm doing this because I want to be the healthiest version of me possible. how eating 900 calories a day makes me the healthiest version of myself is another story. But
Yeah, it is.
I declined. I said, thanks, but if that's what it takes to come in first, then I'll be the loudest, proudest cheerleader.
Yeah.
I'll live the lifestyle,
The
but
sport is not for me.
yeah. And then over the next 2 years, the pressure kept coming from not my trainer, another trainer, and
To do a cycle.
to do a fat burner and a cycle. And then finally in the spring of 2010, he said to me, I'm telling everybody you're doing it anyways. You may as well.
What?
Jesus.
Oh
Christ.
my God.
Yo, who's this
No
guy?
one
So
is,
now, this is the trainer that I'm not going to name, but this is the one I'm thinking of.
you know who
correct?
we're talking about.
Okay.
He said, no one's going to believe your progress poster because as a, semi-retired photographer, I was so intrigued by the process. I was one of those few people that took a picture of myself at 176 pounds
Yeah.
and a size 18 and did progress. And so as a gift to my trainer, I gave her a poster of my progress across I think it was I started January 4th and I was on stage May 31st.
And what were we on stage at? Oh, wait.
I was on stage at 108 pounds.
Wow.
108.
In 4 months? 5 months. Wow.
So carved down and then built up.
Wow. And then he said to you,
No one's going to
gonna
believe
it
you
anyways,
did
I'm gonna
that.
tell them." Unbelievable. So this is when you said, I'm done with the sport. If it's a sport.
Not
It's a sport.
We'll discuss that the next episode.
not immediately. I went out to the car. I had a sob fest. One of the other members came out, flashed a badge and said, I'm glad to see you're upset by the exchange you had with him. I encourage you to take a break for a bit
Wow. Okay.
because he was undercover. So nothing ever came of it.
Yeah.
But that was like, okay, so what do I do now? So I was running around the lake shore, making up workouts and like, oh, where can I hang and do pull-ups? Where can I,
Kind of doing your own thing.
yeah, but feeling lost. And then I started a job at St. Louis on Big Bay Point Road. Sorry, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah. Go for it.
They've been open 11 years.
Future sponsor.
Hey, I could talk to them
Yes,
about
please
that.
do. Please do.
I was bartending and this quiet, gentle man would come in every Wednesday night. He'd have 2 pints of Canadian and go home. Just, not a, just sort of do. And, hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, not so bad. And then, getting to know him, somebody had said, oh, so Heather, have you found a gym yet? And then he went, you looking for a gym? I'm a gym owner. Oh, and then he says, he owns a CrossFit. And I'm like, I can't do that.
Blasphemy.
Because my husband, because I was looking for something, my husband was looking stuff up. He's like, oh, Heather, you'd like this. And he showed me, but he showed me a video of like the best in the world doing it.
Yeah.
I love you, dear. I love your support, but I can't do that. And he said to me, he's like, no, we'll work towards whatever you can do. Well, then I'm like, well, I can do a lot.
Yeah. Well, you're strong.
But, I guess he just, he didn't know what I could do, but he was willing to say, take me from ground zero and say, let's just take the movement slowly and safely and see if you enjoy it. And they had their 1-year anniversary in September, and he invited me to find a couple of people to put together a team. And we did a workout called Fight Gone Bad, which was actually curated for a mixed martial arts athlete who asked his trainer to give him a program that emulates 3 rounds in the octagon. And when he was done, the trainer said to him, so how was it? He's like, it was like a fucking fight gone bad. And so we dropped the F word, but it's now called Fight Gone Bad. So that was my first ever workout.
Interesting.
And it was modified.
Yeah.
And I had this like burning lung
Oh yeah.
for a day and a half.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
And I signed up that week.
Okay, so we're gonna get into it because that's one of the things that Jeff and I have discussed and feel that is cross the line here, but probably a downfall or a negative to CrossFit. I want to preface what I'm going to say with, we both think, and I haven't discussed it with you, but we both
Corey
think,
doesn't have opinions.
yeah, the elite athletes.
Is Corey allowed to have opinions, or you just get talked over all the time?
I haven't turned
They
on
like
his,
to talk a lot.
I haven't
They
turned
like
on
to
his
talk a
mic
lot,
yet,
yeah.
Heather. So when I turn on his mic, he's allowed to. The elite level CrossFit athletes are some of the best in the world.
Bar none. They are they're literally the fittest people on earth.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, that's a later point of mine that I think, oh boy, I get so much trouble. I think CrossFit is the greatest multi-level marketing scheme of all time. I think they're marketing geniuses. For them to have trademarked fittest man in the world, fittest female in the world, fittest woman in the world is absolutely brilliant.
It's
Are
like,
they?
It would be like
That's
us
debatable.
trademarking the word gym. Right?
Yes.
Because now you like CrossFit gyms, you have to pay a trademarking fee, right?
Yeah, you pay a.
That's why the memberships are so high.
If
Yeah.
you want
An
to
annual
call yourself a CrossFit,
Correct.
there are facilities that would just call themselves strength and conditioning gyms.
Yeah.
But if you want to be affiliated with the CrossFit brand, yes, absolutely, you pay an affiliate
And
fee.
it's the biggest affiliated gym in the world with over 12,000 gyms in the world. My point is, those people we watched at the Rogue Invitational when I was watching Mitch do the Rogue Invitational, like absolutely phenomenal athletes. But my belief is they should not be doing the same workout as me in the local box.
Oh, hell no.
Okay. No, yeah, go to town.
You can say fuck, you can say
Yeah,
hell.
yeah. So defend that for me. Like justify that Todd should be doing the same workout as the guy that just won the Rogue Invitational.
Don't take this the wrong way,
Yeah.
Todd, but hell no, you should not.
couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was, and it's bizarre how things kind of fall together. Last night was our first open workout. And
What does that mean?
Okay, I'm sorry, because you had the Rogue Invitational. The open
Yeah.
is a series of workouts. There's 3. So tonight's the first, or last night was actually the announcement was Thursday, but we've got all weekend to say to ourselves, all right, I'm going to gear down and get this workout done. And I'm going to,
a set time.
Oh, so
There's-
you're
yeah.
competing against other affiliates?
yeah.
Oh, you are?
Or
Okay.
okay, technically, yes. But in reality, what we tell our regular members, you're competing against yourself.
Right. Okay.
You're improving your own
Athleticism?
general physical preparedness.
Yeah.
Like at my age, honestly, like my last competition was 2016 for CrossFit and 2017 for Strongman. 2018, I started training and old woman things started happening and I had to take a back seat. So now my modus operandi is stay out of the old age home.
Ah, okay.
And I keep thinking, because I have been at that gym for 13 years
Yeah.
and 3 different ownerships. And every time it changes hands, I'm like, oh, they're going to put
Hey,
me
then
out to pasture.
Give them a plug.
Give them a plug.
Yeah, absolutely.
CrossFit Resurrection.
Yeah,
Right
on
behind, on Bayview, right
Yeah.
behind the Rona.
Yeah.
So with CrossFit gyms, like yours seems, from what I'm hearing, is you put the needs of the members first.
Absolutely. And
But I know that there's gyms that put the workout first. Would you agree with that?
I don't know those gyms.
So you've never heard of like other gyms pushing weight instead of form? Yeah. Oh yeah. They're like the injuries is
Yeah.
amazing, like wild.
I do know that you have, I say the word Rogue and it sounds like a bad thing to say because, one of the major companies, Rogue, fantastic company.
Yeah.
But you get your person who, is like, oh, I'm going to do this and throw it up on YouTube. And it's embarrassing. But it's really no different than you get somebody who goes into a Globo gym and uses, oh, I'm going to use this machine. And you're like, oh, that is not how that machine is used. And they've put it up on YouTube expecting to get all of these hits, right? So yes, there are frustrating moments. And I can't speak to the other boxes or affiliates, but from the get-go, our facility has always been about form first.
Can you educate me on something? So if you're going into this open workout and you're competing against yourself, let's say, how do you know what to do? How do you know what mark I'm trying to beat?
Ideally, okay, so your first year open athlete, and so that way, it's fun to say, hey, I'm an athlete. Hell yeah, you are. You signed up for the open. You're now an athlete, right? We've got somebody who's just been on board for 3 months. So we say to them, okay, you're going to do the workout, but you're going to do this and this and this.
So your job as a coach is to limit that first year open person. And if Jeff's a second year open person and Corey's a third, they need less instruction and more. Okay, this is what I did last year.
Here's the strategy.
So I need, okay.
Things like, okay, so for example, say a barbell movement. Someone who's just starting and still doesn't have the foundations of a barbell movement is probably going to be modified to a dumbbell movement or a kettlebell swing, or like there are so many modifications and scales so that you can give them the stimulus that you're looking for the programming, but also keep it safe for the athletes so that they can come back 3-4 times a day within the week.
What's the ratio of you to a class?
1 to 10.
1 to 10. That's not bad. And then in that 10, you're going to have like levels of 1 and levels of 10 first year, and you're going to have seasoned people, right?
Well, and sometimes, because I would say all the facilities have the potential for a world-class athlete, but we've got a few world-class athletes and they come into the class.
Do they really?
Oh yeah. Like,
Okay.
I mean, they got 3 hours of programming versus our 1.
Yeah.
And our 1 is a directed warm-up, skill set, mobility, depending on whether it's a strength day or a metabolic conditioning day, or are we doing a chipper? So you get all of those elements and you prepare them for those elements within the workout. Then we do the workout, and then there's the cool down and mobility. And we've got mats out, and always encourage people to use ROMWAD to say, okay, now we're going to look after your body. You've just beat it up.
Right.
So let's look after your body, get the water in your body, and then you can come back tomorrow or the next day.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, so my one client, she was talking to me about how she goes to different gyms, and she mentioned a CrossFit gym locally. I don't know what one it was, but a lot of the teachers went for a group, what do you call it, team building exercise. Like they went as a group to bond or whatever. And you mentioned that, like, you can modify. So you go barbell, dumbbell, kettlebell. So they had gone in, and my client she's trained her whole life. So she was using a barbell, and the coach made all of the other people who've never worked out use the barbell.
That might just be the gym.
But that's what I mean.
I'm
Like,
sorry to hear that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's where I think CrossFit is getting a bad rap.
There's also some really suck-ass trainers out there in normal gyms.
Oh, yeah,
right?
for sure.
Always. Yeah.
And
for
we
sure.
know one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, and so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
the reason for me having, like, I just felt that I wasn't, not that I wasn't safe in a global gym environment, but wherever he was, I was going to get henpecked. And it's a small world.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
It's
and even
no
back
matter
then in
what
it's
Barrie,
a
gym.
high school mentality.
Like how many
Yeah.
gyms were in Barrie when you and I competed? Like there was one chain.
And there was like
One
one that had bodybuilding competitive athletes,
And we were
right?
all
So
at
if
it.
you wanted to be a bodybuilder,
great
figure
point.
competitor, that was the facility you had to be in.
Yeah.
And if the reputation was I was going to be told that I went from 176 to 108 by using stuff, I don't have I have a problem with people using stuff and competing naturally, but
We've discussed it.
Yeah.
I know I was like, I was allowed as proud as cheerleader in the office when I saw that podcast. I was like, yes, I know. I'm
They
so
hear
there.
me.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
Okay, I have a question. Why? So I'm a strong believer in multitude of modalities for multitude of people. So weight training, bodybuilding, CrossFit, plyometrics, whatever. Why do CrossFitters seem that you have to drink the Kool-Aid? We do CrossFit only. We don't do anything else. And again, this is a reputation thing, and I'm speaking on my own that I think CrossFitters are a little whack job, but because they are forced into just this. And I'm saying this, and I gave a tour of AK at the beginning, and this guy's clearly a CrossFitter, and he walked in and he's like, "Well, look, where am I going to do my pull-ups? You got one pull-up bar." And I went, "Okay." And he went to say something. I said, "No. There's a second one, and a third one, and a fourth one." He goes, "Yeah, but," I go, "I'm not done yet. There's a 7th and 8th and 9th. There's 12 places in here. Well, where am I going to do this?" And I'm like, "You know what, bud? Go back to the box. You're not here for the gym." So his mentality was he compared everything to CrossFit, whereas I think normal gym goers don't compare what they're doing to everything else. So why is it if I'm CrossFit, I can only do CrossFit? Or
At our
am I
gym,
wrong?
It might surprise you to know we have
Yeah.
a bodybuilding track.
A bodybuilding track, explain that to me.
It's a bodybuilding program.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Explain.
Geez. Because the whole point is to be fit across all foundations
Totally
and
agree.
modalities.
Yeah.
While it's wonderful to say, yes, you've done burpees or you've done powerlifting today or whatnot, there are still accessory lifts that you need to do in order to round out the strength across your muscle groupings. And so within the programming, it'll either be on the board after the workout, and we call it the after party because that's not something that's done for time. And it's just more, okay, so you're going to do 3 sets of this, not for time, rest as needed. And then we're there to help assist with technique. And okay, why would you pin your elbow in so that you can get the focus on, just
You're
the
coaching.
bodybuilding stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
you're coaching for sure.
And if it's not written on the whiteboard, there's an entire track. So if you come in one day
that's
and
awesome.
you're like, I'm so beat up, I just can't do this. And we have open gym times where they can actually tap on just the bodybuilding track and then do accessory work.
Is that popular in the box that you work at?
It's popular at our box.
Yeah, yeah.
Do all CrossFit gyms have that?
I should have thought to figure that out. I don't know. I know that at our gym, if you're an elite athlete, obviously CrossFit is life.
Yeah.
But I think we've got maybe 4 or 5 elite athletes that are, world ranked. The rest of us are average Joes.
So of the average Joes and the high level CrossFitters, like what percentage of them are into other modalities? Or am I completely
Everybody.
wrong? So everybody. So I'm completely erroneous in thinking that if a CrossFitter just does CrossFit.
It might be the atmosphere that we've created at our facility. We for a while had a reputation, they're a competitive gym. And we happen to have some world ranked athletes. So I don't know if, those athletes gave us that moniker, but the reality is the majority of our membership is just looking for general physical preparedness, or they're
I love when you say
athletes in
that.
another.
I do. I think it's so right.
Yeah.
I think more people have to go in to physical wellness and health and lifting weights or CrossFit with that preparedness mind. I love it when you say that because it's so accurate.
I sometimes, with this conversation, I love my facility. I would never leave it, but it makes me think, well, geez, maybe I should go check out other places.
I wonder if you would like your experience with CrossFit as much, because your gym sounds like the ideal CrossFit place. Because every time Todd
I
says,
agree.
well, this is what we think of CrossFitters, you're saying, well, no, that's not the experience that I've had. So I wonder how you would feel about CrossFit if you did go try out other facilities.
I would probably leave it.
Yeah, and it might be a reflection, like you said, it's changed 3 times owners. So I'm sure the focus and attention of those 3 owners weren't all the same. But your coaching,
There's a common thread, and
Okay.
that's that each pair of owners, or actually the middle was a trio and then became a pair, has always been the foundations, getting people to have a good workout safely, high fives or post-pandemic fist bump, elbows right.
Yeah.
And one of the silver linings of the pandemic, I think, is that, we would Zoom with each other. It's like, okay, well, what can we do? Okay, what have you got in your basement? So, okay, use that jug of bleach, and okay, fill a backpack full of books, and just trying to do functional movements.
Yeah.
And so I think that was an enlightening time, saying, well, geez, that is what it's all about. This is why it embarrasses my husband that I put my Jeep tires up on the top of the garage. And so he's like, you could have waited for me to do that. I'm like, I'm capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Why would I play princess and say, oh, honey, put my tires up?
Okay, I know we're definitely going to have you back because I have many more things that I want to talk
Aw.
about.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Kip.
Okay, that damn it, you stole my thunder.
Kipping.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
Why not just do a chin up?
We do those.
Then
we
why
do
kipping?
pronated and supine chin-ups.
Okay.
But the kipping motion is more for that, again, once they've achieved the ability to control the movement, to increase
Next
the
level.
volume of work. Would I take somebody who has 3 months experience and say, okay, now you're going to do a kipping pull-up? Hell no, we're still working on the foundations.
Okay.
So does kipping translate to any type of improvement in the lifts you guys do?
No, it's a
So just-
gymnastics movement. The idea is it's a gymnastics movement that's meant to jack up your heart rate, and you using it as a modality to, all right, this is a taxing,
build up
activity.
endurance.
To put it in perspective, the original founder of CrossFit, one of his first, compilations he called Fran. And he always, he said, if a workout was named after a girl, it's because you were left lying on the ground wondering what the hell happened to you.
That's too easy. Yeah. Next topic. Next question.
So as a gymnast, he had, his specialty was rings. And this Fran workout, 21, 15, 9 reps of pull-ups and thrusters, was for him to emulate a 3-minute ring routine. Yeah. Fran's supposed to be done in 3 minutes. It takes me 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I modify it.
Yeah.
But am I still getting a workout? Absolutely.
Yeah. staying
Okay.
active.
So we're limited on time. Then I'll get to quick fire questions. And we got to do this quickly.
Okay.
Should mass building exercises be done for speed?
Not mass building, but medium building. Absolutely.
Okay. What do you mean by medium building?
Would I do my 1 rep dead repeatedly? Okay, yeah, I have in strongman, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
But do you do that in a class? No.
Okay.
I would say, generally speaking, if we're doing multiple reps of a weight lifting lift, one of the specific, and we have them tracked. It's like, hey, what's your 1 rep? What's your this? What's your that? And we pull them down on percentages. So in a class of 10, there might be somebody who's working at what looks like an insane heavy weight, but their deadlift is 450.
Right. So they're at 80% of their 1 RM.
No, 65.
65 is the max.
And I mean, again, are you competitive?
Right.
So
Right.
are you going to the games? That's a different story, because then, there was a programmer for the games. His name is David Castro. He was diabolical.
Yeah.
He was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
And that's the point. That's the point of the elite level of CrossFit, is to push you to newer,
to ring the
higher
bell.
limits.
That's exactly what the idea
And
is.
with all of the publicity it gets, it kind of, throws that on to, oh my God, so Heather doesn't, I wish. I do not.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're definitely going to have you back on because I have so many more questions.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, totally do. And I want to thank you very much. I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
I think you were awesome. And I have a ton more. I didn't even get through half of my questions. And and I'm sure you do, and I'm sure you do too. And we'll have you back
It's
in
the
the near
quietest
future.
Corey's ever been.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I think
there's so
he's
much about CrossFit that I don't know, so I'm probably the last person
like
to have
every
an
other
opinion on
topic.
it.
I think the 3 of you should come play with us for a day.
I think I would fucking die.
We would make it so that you won't.
Yeah.
Like the whole point
Yeah.
is to set you up for success. What are your skills? What do you need to work on? We've got a means to help you work on what you need to or want to work on.
Yeah.
I'm at the stage now, 54. I don't want to do ring muscle ups anymore. I can do other
couldn't do
things.
one.
I think the last time I had one was
Blow a
2013.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe after I finish this year, I'll
Yeah.
come and
Give it a shot. Yeah.
We would
All
love
right.
to have you.
I'm down.
Okay,
Yeah.
you got
And
these
I
rapid
love your
fires?
attitude. I love your attitude because I would go and we would want to tape up the window so nobody could see us
Yeah,
fail
make sure his
masterfully.
knees are like triple wrapped.
Okay,
that's
okay, you're not getting it. We would make it so that you would feel success.
Oh, I totally believe you. I'm
You're
just
not
being
going to
sarcastic.
fail.
No, I totally. And you know what? I believe in you, so I trust you, and I would do it in a heartbeat. I
Aw.
would. Okay. Where's the last place you went skinny dipping?
I'm lame. I've never been skinny dipping. Apparently, that's going to have to be a bucket list.
Oh, there you go.
I don't think I have either, unless I was like super fucking drunk.
God, this is boring. Please come through for me, Corey. I don't think I
Corey
said
doesn't
that
do
once.
water.
Yeah, I'm not
Think he's
a
gonna let
water
his little
guy.
worm dangle in the water?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think the bodies of water I've been in are generally warm enough for skinny dipping.
Okay. Wow, that was a really boring.
Sorry,
answer.
you gonna answer that question?
It was actually at the Phoenician in Phoenix with my wife.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
2008 or 9. I'm married now, pal. It's, skinny dipping. Although I've probably taken my shorts off in the hot tub a few times, but in a pool, no. Do you believe in foot fetishes?
I believe.
Oh, I believe that people have
but
them.
it's
Yeah,
fucking
people-
weird.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I do OnlyFans. And
Is that
yeah,
your
I've had people
rebranding with your
request-
OnlyFans
No,
page?
I'm not
You're
doing feet.
towards
What's the
foot
most
fetishes?
expensive? Have you sent feet pictures?
Size
before?
12 and up?
What's the most expensive picture of your feet that you've sent?
I said it was $50. American
Oh, that's good.
for 2
57.50 Canadian. I like it.
Yeah.
How do you take pictures if you? No, I don't want to know.
No, don't go there. That's the next
we
thing.
don't talk
What's
about
your average length on the toilet when you go to the bathroom?
Oh, see, I got 2 different averages. I
Sit,
got the
shit,
in
and
between
go.
clients. It's like the plop and drop.
Oh, good call.
Oh,
That's
That's
the
better.
CrossFit shit.
That's the CrossFit.
That's the cross. Good call. That's right.
Right?
It's for time.
It's for speed.
It's for
It's up for time.
And then when I'm home and I can I let it all come
Yeah.
out and I wait longer just in case there's a little bit more.
And you
I'm
wipe side to side.
scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my legs go asleep. That's
If it's taking you that long to have a dump, you need more
I'd
fiber.
fallen into the wall before when I stood up. I was like, oh shit.
I'll shit for 2 minutes, but scroll for 15. I don't care.
I think it should be gone in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
Why does
you're
that
the
sound
mirror
like a movie?
would you retire in the country or in the city?
Country.
I'd probably be sitting.
I
You'd
said to
probably be
Tammy,
sitting.
you're like
Have
my
you ever
son
lied
from
on a
another
resume?
time.
Lied on a resume?
You ever
No.
lied on a resume?
No.
Have you ever danced on a table or a bar?
Corey, have you ever lied
How
about your
many
height?
times do I have to admit to?
No.
You have not lied about your height?
No.
What about FitLog when you said you were 5'6"?
It
What?
doesn't.
5'6"?
It doesn't let you
You're
do
not even
half.
close.
It doesn't let you
It
go
doesn't
lower
let
than
you do
5'6".
half.
Yeah, so
You-
go down to 5'5".
Todd.
Buddy,
Todd,
you're barely
we've all been
5'5".
elementary school where they tell you to round up. They tell you to round up. So if I round down, was that show about my teachers in the past?
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't done much, right?
It's
But the
horrible.
best
I
part
have
is
to
like
round
he's
up.
the only one who saw it.
I can't. Have you ever been? Okay, I've lost my emoji here. Okay, first on the dance floor, last on the dance floor, never on the dance floor.
First on the dance floor and last on the dance floor.
Nice. And I've danced with you, so I know it's true.
All 3.
All
You
3.
give me enough tequila, I'll get on that dance
Nice.
Yeah, I do have
But-
to drink
Or,
if I'm
or
getting out on the dance floor.
Tequila or Grey Goose?
Grey Goose. Yeah, so
Future
for all those
sponsors.
people who got Corey some donuts
Yeah.
these last few weeks, tequila.
Yeah.
And
And Grey Goose, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
around the same price range.
Yeah. Have you ever
Scotch.
forgotten an important birthday?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
No.
Forgotten or neglected? You know, like when you know the birthday and you're just like, oh crap, I just
I
didn't
do not
prepare
wanna
for it.
celebrate
Don't
this
want to
shit.
say happy birthday.
Okay. I forgot my mom's once and sent her a dozen roses for a month, and she still didn't forgive me. Have you ever eaten something off the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did yesterday, I think.
What's the timeline?
Yeah. Oh, 5 second row.
5 seconds?
Yeah.
I'll go past
Okay.
5
I know
seconds.
we're tight on time. Oh, there's a dead fly in our kitchen one day, and I said to my daughters, "I'll give you $20 if you eat it."
Oh,
And my wife's like, "Oh my God, that's so disgusting." I'm like, it's $20. Like, do it. So she wouldn't let us do it. So we were walking the dogs the next day, and the 4 of us are walking by, and we're doing this dirt path up the sports complex. And I said, "Hey, if anyone jumps down and licks the dirt, I'll give you $20." Both my daughters down. And I'm like, "Yes!" And my wife's like, "Oh my God, you idiot!"
Yeah, during the lockdowns, I found a
Cost me
bug on the
$40.
wall, and I said, "Do you think I'll eat it?" My kid's like, "No way!" And I grabbed it, and I threw it in my mouth, and started chewing it. Oh, fuck, that thing was gross.
Oh my God.
It was like dusty.
Oh, no shit. like, what did he think was going to happen?
Okay, do you ever laugh when you're alone?
Oh,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Nice. I've been married 22 years. I laugh. I cry when I'm alone. I do. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Ah!
I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
The
I
first
watched
time I've
half
been
of it and was
disappointed in
like,
you
wow,
so
this
far.
is like a long movie that hasn't really been long yet.
Oh my. Okay, stop talking.
Too
You're
much
breaking my
happens.
heart right now. Is it a Christmas movie?
Yes, it's Christmas.
Thank you, pal. You're finally in my good books.
There we go.
Thriller is the top grossing album of all time.
True. Oh, wait.
No, not true or false.
Oh,
But thank you. Hey, you got one right, Corey. Nice, pal.
True.
Name the next 4.
oh.
Name the next 4.
Yeah, Thriller's top grossing album.
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band?
No, but the Beatles are number 4 with the Beatles.
Elvis.
Oh no,
Is there a Rolling Stones album?
no.
AC/DC.
Yes, Back in Black is number 3.
Pearl Jam.
What's number
boy,
2?
Pearl Jam. I love that. Number 2 is going to stump you.
Eminem.
No,
Is it more
Hotel
recent?
California, the Eagles, second grossing album of all time. And the 5th one is Led Zeppelin. 4.
Damn.
Yeah,
True.
Heather, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Yeah, thank you for
much.
coming.
All right, that's
You turned a
that's it. And-
terrifying preamble into
Yep.
something that was like, absolutely, I really
Fun.
love being here.
Right. Well, that's why we're going to have you back. So we have discussed dysfunctional eating disorders such as anorexia nervosa and bulimia and skeletonization before. And on our next episode, we're actually going to address the addiction to food. We'll see you next time on the Cultured Kast.
This episode of Kultured Kast is made possible by Paul Sadlin Motors, your local Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac dealer on Bayfield Street in Barrie and online at paulsadlin.com.
breaking news. If you like that and you want more of it, go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other stuff.